Alright, so the purpose of this video is to basically show you how to install Kali Linux. I will be installing it on a Windows 10 computer. Alright, so I have my Windows 10 laptop on which I'll be installing Kali Linux. Now, we will be downloading the necessary files for Kali Linux. We will also be downloading a virtual software called VMware Workstation. Alright, so we'll be using that to run Kali Linux basically. So before we get into downloading Kali Linux though, let's just get some more information on it. So I'm going to type about Kali Linux. Alright, so as stated here, it says that Kali Linux is a Debian-based Linux distribution aimed at advanced penetration testing and security auditing. Alright, so Kali Linux contains several hundred tools which are geared towards various information security tasks such as penetration testing, security research, computer forensics, and reverse engineering. Now, it is important to note that Kali Linux is developed and funded by Offensive Security, and they are a leading information security training company. All right, so they offer a lot of security training. All right, let me just. So this is your website for Offensive Security. All right, so they are the ones who basically develop and maintain Kali Linux. All right, so this video is not about them though. So let's just go to our browser. I'm going to type Kali Linux. Alright, so we can click on the first link here or just click on the downloads link. So I'm going to click on the downloads link. Alright, now the version that I'm seeing is Kali Linux 2021.1. Now there are different files that you can grab in terms of installation files. So for Apple M1 files are there. Now I want to grab a Kali virtual machine download version. More specifically, I want to grab the version for VMware because remember again, I'll be using VMware Workstation Player to install and run Kali Linux. So for that reason, I'm going to go to Offensive Security VM download page. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and grab the 64-bit version, so the Kali Linux VMware 64-bit version, and it's a 7-zip file, so it will be good as well if you have 7Z installed on your system. Alright, now, so let's just click to download. Alright, so you just save it in a location that is important or easy for you to find, I should say. Alright. Alright, so after downloading Kali Linux, I am going to go ahead and also download VMware Workstation Player. Alright, so that's the first link that came up. Alright, so the current version of VMware Workstation Player is version 16. Now, I find VMware Workstation Player to be very lightweight, and it is, for me, it is a good tool to use to basically run something like Kali Linux, right? So as stated here, VMware Workstation Player is an ideal utility for running a single virtual machine on a Windows or Linux PC. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the version for Windows. Again, just go ahead and save it in a location that is easy for you to find. Alright. Alright, so I have both Kali Linux and VMware Player downloaded and ready to install. Now, first things first, I'm going to extract the Kali Linux files. So I'm just going to right click on that, and I'm using 7Z. I'm going to right click, go to 7-zip, and extract it in a folder by the same name, Kali Linux 2021.1 VMware AMD 64. So that's what I'm going to. Alright, so we'll just allow that to extract. Alright, so once that has been extracted, the next thing we need to do now is to install VMware Workstation Player. And just like any other software, installation is straightforward. So I'm just going to double click on the executable file. Alright, so once this comes up, we will say yes, we want to go ahead and run this software. Alright, so the installation is being prepared. Alright, as I said, just like installing any other software, it has a wizard, so you just go through the steps, say next. Alright, I have a version running already, so it's basically asking me if I want to change, repair, or remove. Alright, but for you, you'll just select the best option in terms of installing, and you will just proceed to the next step. So it's a wizard, it's pretty straightforward. Alright, so once that is done, just click on finish, and you'll see the icon here on your desktop. Alright, now what you want to do is you want to open VMware Workstation Player. As I said, it's relatively lightweight and it's good for running single use virtual software or virtual applications. Alright, now to load Kali Linux, you'll just click on Player, go to File, Open, then you'll need to now just navigate to where your Kali Linux was extracted. Alright, so open, and then you just open and load your file. Alright. Alright, so once that is open, once Kali Linux is open in your VMware Workstation Player, you can go ahead and edit the settings. So I'm going to click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings. Alright, by default we are given 2 GB of memory, that is good. processor is at 2. Now for you, your processor might be at 4. So if it is at 4, just bring it down to 2. Right? That just to be on the safe side. For network adapter, might be a case for you where the bridge connection for yours is not selected. You want to go ahead and select bridged connection because you want, when you're running Kali Linux, you are still connected the to the wireless network, alright? And everything else is good, so we can go ahead and just click OK. And from that now, we can go ahead and start our Kali Linux. So we can go ahead and just say play virtual machine. Alright, so it is asking if you had moved or if you had copied Kali Linux. So we had copied, so I'm going to click I copied it. And this is Kali Linux loaded and ready to go. Well, not fully ready to go. Still need to log in and all of that, alright? So it is loading. Alright, so just give it some time to load. Alright, so once it's loaded, it will ask you to log in. Now by default, the username is Kali and the password is also Kali. Alright, log in. And there you go. Kali Linux is running on our Windows 10 computer. Alright. Now, if we click on the icon here where it says applications, you will see all the different available security applications among other applications as well. So there's a web browser, text editor, there's a command line terminal, right? Also, you'll see where there are different tools, so information gathering, vulnerability analysis, which includes Nmap, web application analysis, all right, which includes SQL map, right? So all the tools are listed. Remember, again, when we were looking at the about Kali Linux, it told us that it comes with over 600 penetration testing tools, right? So we can do penetration testing, we can do reverse engineering, and other security audit. For password attacks, you'll see John the Ripper is there, Ashcat is there, Medusa is there as well. Alright, so Kali Linux is very good for practicing your ethical hacking and your penetration testing. Alright, so I would say install Kali Linux and just examine the tools that are presently there. Alright. So once you're finished, you can simply just click on logout and you can shut down, which means that it will end this virtual session. And there you go. So you can now go ahead and install Kali Linux and just examine the pen testing tools that are there. All right. So go ahead and do that. And until next time, try learn as much as you can. The field of security is one that you should be constantly learning, constantly researching. All right. So have a great day until the next video.